All right, Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. I have to babysit these coach killing content creators that the Denver Broncos basically pay. And I have to make a video because I can't go to the Broncos syndicate. I get shadow banned there. And the guy that runs that, he knows I'm shadow banned. And the reason why we're shadow banned is because we bring you the facts. We are the no bullshit channel. And that front office is full of so much shit. And I've got to come out and just make a quick video to set the record straight. I got somebody out there, Broncos Syndicate, saying that Sean Payton is solely responsible for um, the firing of, or excuse me, the cutting Brandon McManus. Okay, this is categorically false. He is not solely responsible for that. In his interview, his very first press conference, he said this, and I leave the link for you. You can see for yourself. He said, "quote." I'm going to say this part of it. Ultimately, you're constantly looking for what is the best interest for your team. He later comes down and says, "We factored we, as in like a pig, we, like the French we. We factored a lot of that in the decision to get rid of McManus." And then again, he says again, and then we, meaning him in the front office, made that decision to go ahead and cut it. So it wasn't solely a Brandon McManus decision. That's categorically false. It was Sean Payton and the front office. And I am going to say this, that one thing we know, Mile High View, the Bucket Man, the Bubble Man, one thing we know is the wrath of the front office. Okay, we can. There's nobody more qualified than us to explain the wrath of our Bucket Man. Just got his videos taken down as soon as the All 22 came up, and so I just want to say this: Brandon McManus was calling out the front office about the turf conditions. I'm going to say that may have been a factor when, as maybe a retaliation. Yes, McManus was downtrending as a kicker, but obviously probably better than Lutz. Okay, but I'm just saying that. I'm not just talking out of our ass when we said there's a vindictiveness. When we felt the wrath of this front office because we called it out. He called it out, and he's gone now. Okay. I know these coaches, they'll, for whatever the reason, will always take, the hit. Oh yeah, but I don't care what Sean Payton wants to say. He came out in his first press conference and said, and I'll leave the link, it was a we decision. It was him in the front. The front office also was a part of that decision. I'm just sick of the coach killing. You get your facts straight. I've had to correct you before, and so I get shadow banned, of course, because they don't want these messages coming out. The corrections. This was a joint front office and Sean Payton decision to get rid of McManus. Okay, that's just the facts. Okay, how much of it was George Payton? Because George Payton can't even, bring in a head coach. He's not even allowed to go and talk to one. So I don't know how, if he's allowed, this is the only thing he's allowed to do. So I'm assuming it was the bean counters, it was the GM, and it was Sean Payton that said, yeah, we can go ahead and do that. But also, to blame Sean Payton ultimately for this, sure, I agree. He can get some of the blame, but to blame him squarely, what about his offense? Did they score enough points? Was it strictly just the kicker? I mean, you saw that. Could they scored more points to make up for the kicker? The bringing him in. Just a question. What about the defense? Do you think the defense could have held the Raiders to even less points? Just a question. The defense was horrific. This isn't again, we get this all the time, and it's only week one. They're already coach killing out there. Okay, that's why I had to make this video. It's just it just drives me crazy when I just said no way was this strictly a Sean Payton. No way. And then sure enough, in his first press conference, he makes it very clear, not once but twice, this was a we decision. Yes, he had a hand in it. Granted. but he wasn't the sole architect, and we don't know. What the driving factor is like you're not on this team anymore because he really McManus really went in on the turf conditions on the Broncos. He piled in on it. So when we know, I'm just saying from experience, those of us who challenge the front office, we know their wrath. I mean, look at Sean Payton. Look what happened to Sean Payton himself when he said, again, the content creators, oh, Elway's gone. Give us your take on Elway being gone. And what does Sean Payton say? Well, he's not gone. Obviously, he's still here. He's obviously got a front office. And the next thing you know, a week later, there's a video comes out with Sean Payton smoking pot. Never was denied with college kids or whatever. So, it is what it is over at that. It's such a toxic situation. But, I will say this to Sean Payton. You did take the money. This is what you were getting into. We discussed all of this about, what you're going to have to do, what you're going to have to put up with. You're going to have to put up with these coach-killing creators, putting out disinformation that this getting rid of McManus was all on you. Even though I'm going to leave the link and you can read it for yourself. He says we twice in this. You can read it for yourself. I knew this isn't just a head coach decision, okay? Just knock it off, please. Just please knock it off. I wouldn't even do this video if I could comment on your freaking channel, but you got me shadow banned, so I've got to go this route, okay? So that's it. Kirk out.